Greetings, folks, in the time and space. It's your host, Tomoya Shadow, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back once again to some more Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. We're going to be continuing right where we last left off in the last live stream. We had just made it past the first trial. We are on our way off of the moon back to Earth, or Aetheris, as they are calling it. So, without further ado, let's get started right away with today's adventure and see what's in store for us. Allons-y! With the Loporrit's in Urianger's capable hands, we needn't worry about affairs here in our absence. Knowing now the face of their earthly collaborators, there is much to discuss with Alphinaud and the others. Let us return to the Tower of Babel. Our battle for the star will soon begin in earnest, and we must be prepared. Get out of here with that. Get out of here. Get out of here. Gods, I can scarcely believe we went to the moon and back. But we'll have time to reflect on that later. Right now we need to head back to Camp Broken Glass and deliver a thoroughly detailed report to Lucia. I'd like very much to know how everyone is getting on here as well. They'd only just begun to treat tempered prisoners when we left. I share your curiosity, but warning our allies of the final days is of greater importance. I speak not only of the contingent, of course. The heads of state of every nation must know what we have learned. We know not when or where or in what manner the final days will begin to manifest, and so we must see that everyone is prepared. Agreed, though we may wish to stress the importance of discretion, lest the public be sent into a panic. Not that anyone is in a position of responsibility should need to be told as much, but it bears repeating. Anyway, first things first, the Camp Broken Glass. How do I get out of here? This way? There we go. And cutscene. It's good to see you all again. No worse for your lunar adventure, I hope. We've done what we can for now, and believe me, we intend to tell you all about it. But before we do, might you tell us what's become of Garlemald in our absence? We succeeded in subduing the tempered inside the Tower of Babel. We took many alive, but combined with those who were already in our custody, the number requiring care has grown exponentially. The inclement conditions here have made it difficult, if not impossible, to treat them all here, and so we have petitioned the aid of the allied nations. Some are understandably hesitant to proffer assistance, particularly those that were but recently subject to imperial occupation. That said, several others have agreed to grant them refuge for treatment. With the assistance of your fellow scions, we endeavor to see them safely transported and subsequently cured of their tempering. Will all the tempered be relocated? Not all, no. We have sufficient shelter to attend to those whose treatment has begun, and enough healers have volunteered to remain until their patients have recovered. Julius is one such patient, though he is not yet fit to receive visitors. Truth be told, it was a miracle he and those in his company were not harmed in the chaos. If not for Alfredo and Alize's timely assistance, I dare say none of them would be with us today. In light of recent developments, had the Alliance leaders come to any decisions regarding Garlemald? Given the tremendous ramifications of what has happened here, it will take time to determine what must be done. In the meantime, they intend to work with the Eastern Alliance to keep a close watch over the provinces. We have other news to share. Shortly after Anima was defeated, we received reports that each and every tower has vanished. For a mercy, the process was apparently not quite as violent as that you experienced in Thavnair. Those who are trapped within them have been rescued and are receiving treatment. To hasten this endeavor, the Beast Tribes have received instruction in the magics needed to cure tempering. Master Tomoya is no doubt thrilled the Mother Porksy affords her so many visitors. Yes, we are grateful for our ongoing efforts, as well as those of our comrades near and far. As for the contingent, several of our members have been granted leave to return to their homelands after the transfer of temper has been completed. Lucia and I will remain, along with a small force to continue offering aid to those here in Garlemald. The Empire may be no more, but there are yet those who call these lands home. I believe that accounts for recent events here. So, what are the Moon and the Telophoroi? The final days. Gods, I prayed your victory would mark the end of our troubles. There is still much we do not know, but the Alliance leaders must be told. Would you be willing to contact them in our stead? Yes, of course. I will send word forthwith. We'll also release your fellow Scions from their present duties, that they may return to Charlian. Your energies are better spent finding a means to avert the coming apocalypse. Speaking of your fellow Scions, I will be happy to hear that Mistress Kryl, though still on the mend, has been moved to the Baldessian Annex and given into Tataru's care. Thank you. I look forward to seeing them both upon our return. Let us be on our way, then. One last thing, if I may. After your confrontation with Zodiac, you said Xenos took his leave, and in all likelihood, he has returned here to Garlemald. I have a mind to dispatch scouts to try and ascertain his whereabouts, but first wish to ask if you believe there is merit in doing so. If they found him, they would not likely live to tell the tale. So no, definitely don't do that. I suppose you're right. Dispatch good soldiers in pursuit of such a beast would be to send them to their deaths. Pray forget I entertained the notion. While on the subject of Xenos, the 10th Legion has made an official proclamation. They denounced the Crown Prince and condemn his role in the Empire's downfall. This very title has become a source of shame among its former subjects, and its continued use serves only to hinder relations with foreign nations. For this reason, he has been declared as Xenos Viator Galivus, outcast and enemy of Garlemald. Fandaniel is no more, now his own people turn against him. It seems he's naught but his bloodlust to keep him company. Better than that than an army to see us sated. At any rate, I will not keep you longer. I pray you safe passage back to Charlian. Cryo! Welcome back, Yami. We were so terribly worried about you. Though it is plain I have caused my own fair share of worry, and for that I apologize. Heidelin called to me that day when you entered the Tower of Babel. Her pleas were faint but desperate, and I knew at once she required a vessel to carry out her will. What came after feels like a dream, barely remembered, my body flowing through the life stream toward Garlemald. When I regained consciousness, I was all aches and frostbite, exhausted of ether, so exhausted, in fact, I could only laugh, For it was in that moment I understood Raha's weariness from the Tower of Zot. Would that I could laugh at a time like this. Though we prevented Zodiark from being unleashed upon the world, I am curious to know what else took place there on the moon. Perhaps we should wait for the others to join us before you give your account. Let us reconvene in the main hall once they have arrived. Sorry to have kept you all waiting. Not at all. We understand you've been quite busy. Will Urianger be joining us? Duty keeps him away, I'm afraid, though Yanni can explain why better than I. The final days, as befell Amarat. And we are to escape via the moon. What are the source of its reflections? I have no intention of standing by while the world falls to ruin. So how do we stop this? Unfortunately, we have no answer at present. If celestial currents have grown stagnant, as was the case at the time of Amarat, the solution would be to alter the flow of ether throughout the entirety of the star. The ancients accomplished this by summoning Zodiark, sacrificing half the star's population into doing, but it should go without saying that such a sacrifice cannot be repeated, which leaves us with the daunting task of identifying the underlying catalyst for the final days, a feat which even the Amaratines could not accomplish. Unfortunately, we found no clues in Mare Lamatorum. There is still much we do not know about the catastrophe itself, let alone what may have caused it. The final days were marked by the corruption of the Amaratines' creation magics, but we command no such power, which invites the question, what havoc is in store for us? If we knew that much, perhaps we could draw some parallel with the events of the past, and thereby form some semblance of a plan. Perhaps we should start with the Forum, then. Having worked with the Luperites in secret all this time, there is surely more they could tell us. Forgive the interruption, but I've urgent news. The Forum is holding a public assembly in the plaza outside. Some sort of announcement. What is Father up to now? There's only one way to find out.
Order, order, I say. I thank you all for gathering here on such short notice. This day we must speak of grave affairs and their implications for the future of Charlie.
Why would you start a panic?
Very star. Said affairs concern all citizens, and so we have called for a public assembly. You may have heard rumors of the Talophoroi and the havoc these madmen wreak abroad. Under normal circumstances, we would pay little heed to petty disturbances outside our borders. The final days, however, are another matter altogether. For we dare not ignore these prophetic words of Eld. The Endbearers will come, ushering chaos and calamity. The final days descend and devour the very star.
I've never heard this prophecy.
Is it true? Will all that really happen?
Calm yourselves. The time has come to speak of the Forum's most sacred duties. But first...
Give voice to the voiceless. Let bindings be unbound. By unanimous decree, I declare the enchantment broken.
Master Leveilleur, if you would.
Very well. "270 years ago, our forebears began an expedition in the Dravanian hinterlands, in search of a route to access the ethereal sea. This much is public knowledge. Their findings, however, would become the Forum's most closely guarded secret. What those researchers discovered in the hinterlands was not a passage unto the ethereal sea, but the very heart of our star, and Hydaelyn herself. She spoke to them of a calamity that would extinguish all life, and of a means by which we might be spared. The moon. 'Tis in truth a gargantuan vessel built to serve as sanctuary for her children and deliver them from this doom. Much like Nunkref's hope in ages past, it will bear the people of a world in the throes of death.
They're idiots if
to
they
a
think
new
people
home.
are just gonna go with this.
Needless to say, this will be no small undertaking. To facilitate the great work, the Forum has maintained close contact with the servants of Hydaelyn, who presently reside on the moon. Convinced that the foretold end was all but inevitable, we began amassing a wealth of knowledge, not merely for the betterment of our nation, but in preparation for the journey to come.
You reveal this to us now? By the gods, how long do we have?
While we cannot say with certainty, we believe the hour to be nigh. We received a transmission from the moon suggesting as much not long ago. Which is why we must in earnest begin preparations for the great exodus. For his impressive contributions, and the leadership he demonstrated during our withdrawal from Dravania, we have elected Master Leveilleur to oversee this initiative.
Fellow scribes and scholars, my countrymen, we face a threat of unprecedented scale. We must challenge the trials before us with composure and conviction if we are to find salvation. The wisdom of Sharlayan has ever been a shining beacon in the darkness, and so it shall continue to be. It is our solemn charge to see our heritage preserved for future generations. For those who will come after, we will brave a new frontier.
It's a suicide mission. And they are not happy.
Administrative edicts will be relayed to all major institutions ere long. In the meantime, carry on with your duties. With that, I hereby call this assembly to a close.
you remember what Mother told us when we visited home? That it wasn't until after we were born that Father seemed to lose himself in his work. If that great work of his was the evacuation of this star, then...
Yes. It wasn't for his benefit. Would you mind waiting here a moment? I wish to speak with Father before we leave.
Take your time.
Thank you. I shan't be long.
If it's all the same to you, I have a few choice words to share with Father as well.
So, come to call us cowards and bid us join your fruitless battle against the inevitable.
Nay, we do not object to the Forum's proposal. On the contrary, those who wish to flee have every right to do so. Urianger is cooperating with your associates on the Moon to ensure that all is ready should evacuation be our only recourse.
Then whatever your business, I suggest you be brief.
Though we cannot boast the boundless wisdom of Charlian, we have first-hand knowledge of foreign cultures, and have conversed with no small number of peoples. These experiences have taught us fundamental truths that cannot be recorded in any tome, nor charted on any map. The beating heart of this planet is its people, many of whom would give anything, even their lives, to protect the lands they love. Many may choose to join you in the end. But what of those unwilling or unable, for whom escape will never be an option? What would you have them do? To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, Father. It is indolence. This is why we choose to fight.
We'll not ask for your understanding, Father. Only that you don't turn a blind eye to the good we have done. That we can still do. We're not children in need of protection. Hold fast to your principles and let the world burn if it please. But we believe there is still another way. And if there is, we will find it. You see if we don't.
Do as you will. Just stay out of our way.
Were he not so consumed with self-righteousness, he might tell you how proud he is of you both.
Bold words call for bold action. And there'll be no turning to your father should plans go awry.
As if I ever would. So long as there are those who wish to stay and fight for this star, we have to do what we can to help them.
And if we're to do that, we'll need to be well rested. Wouldn't you agree? And having triumphed over what we once thought to be the source of all evil, I can think of no one in greater need of at least a dozen winks.
Shall we then? To the Annex, to prepare for tomorrow.
The fact that the people of Charlotte actually bought all that. Oh boy. Growl tells me the forum made a rather momentous announcement, so there's to be a great exodus, is there? I'm reminded of my narrow escape from the Isle of Bout, the realization, the running, the mixture of relief and regret after. Why me, I ask myself. Why me? Why us? Why now? Why wonder? There's no use fretting over the cosmic morality of, or lack thereof. We're here, and we'll get through this together. And who knows, maybe my luck will rub off and grant everyone a narrow escape. There's no harm in praying for as much. Oh, but enough of my rambling. I'm sure you're exhausted. Your chamber awaits. The moon! Again, whose voice are we hearing? Could it be Heidelin's? A visitor has come knocking at your door. Whoever could it be? Oh, could it be anybody? You know what? Why not the good boy? Why not the good boy? Alphino happens to be one of my favorite characters, so it's like, why not?
Ah, I hope I didn't wake you. I pray you will forgive the unannounced visit, but I wish to speak with you before retiring for the night.
I mean, when it comes to character development, Alphino's definitely had the most out of all the cast.
About Garlemald, and the time we spent with the people of Tertium. Dangerous though it was, I'm glad we had the opportunity to treat with Euless and Quintus. I was worried what might happen after we were collared. If they attempted to restrain you too. If they succeeded. Once more, I put you in harm's way. And for that, I must apologize. Or rather, I should thank you for trusting in me time and time again. After all our journeys together, I dare say I've used every expression imaginable to convey to you my gratitude. Nevertheless, I hope these words of mine still carry some small weight. Tomorrow, our fight continues. Mayhap it would have been better to seek you out after we have true cause for celebration. But having mustered the courage to stand up to Father, and achieve a personal victory of sorts, I wanted to carry on in that spirit before my nerves got the better of me. The hour grows late, and you doubtless tire of my ramblings. I have a letter for Orenvold to finish, but we'll be off to bed shortly. Sleep well.
A short while earlier in the Alamegan quarter. Alamegan? What are we doing back in Alamega?
Thank the gods that tower is gone. The sight of it was enough to make me sick.
think the Ilsebar contingent, more like. Word is, they fought their way into Garlemald and toppled the bloody thing themselves. Not just the one, neither. All the towers have up and vanished.
Aye, I heard the same. Commander Aldin and his troops helped keep casualties to a minimum, too. But is it true they brought back tempered Garlean soldiers?
As Commander Aldin tells it, they've a treatment for that now. But don't you worry. Cured or not, they've no plans to bring them into the city proper.
I see. Well, that's a relief then. I know we've brothers and sisters among the lot, but I can't say I'm eager to welcome them home.
Wanted to think about it for a while yet. But to be looked after in Alagana for the time being.
What? Meanwhile, in Ishgard. Oh boy, what is going on? Oh, it's our friend again.
Another commission of paramount importance. Well, what have we here? Hey, are you all right?
Something's wrong.
No. The shadows play tricks, nothing more. The towers are gone, and the Garlean threat is abated. Yet, why does it feel as though it's about to get much, much worse?
Oh, it blotted out Ratadhan. Oh no. What is with this music? This is serious music. Oh, Yami, I was just about to call for you. I'm afraid we received another call for assistance. This one comes from Razathan. The others have assembled in the main hall to discuss the situation. You must join them at once. Ah, there you are. Appeared as if out of nowhere, claiming one victim after the next. What's more, they say the very sky burns above them. It begins. Good gods, are the final days already upon us? It would appear so. Sadly, that is all the information we have at present. No doubtless the people of Radzatan are busy fighting for their lives. Then we must go at once. They need our help. Agreed, Kryl. Agreed. Kryl, you best remain here with Tataru and gather what knowledge you can. You are in no condition for a long journey, I imagine. Very well. Similar phenomenon may have been observed elsewhere, and if so, we must know about it at once. Be safe out there, yes? Let us make first for Udomad. We must prepare ourselves for what may lie ahead.
And lo, vile beasts did rise.
Oh!
Leaving naught in their wake but blood and ash. Sun scorches earth and boils seas. And our sins ascend unto the heavens. Three dooms to unmake all we were.
The sky burns. The final days are truly upon us.
My friends, I trust you have heard the news.
We have. What can you tell us of the situation, Your Excellency?
Last night, the Isle was rocked by tremors, and the earth itself cried out. Aloft, the heavens began to burn. From all about, unholy beasts, the likes of which we had never seen, came forth in fury and rage. No. To say they came forth would be inexact. The people of Radzat-Han themselves transformed into these baleful fiends.
What?
Though the phenomenon was observed throughout our lands, the first creature, the largest and most dreadful of the lot, wrought havoc upon us here in our fair city. Though they bear superficial resemblance to divinities of legend, they are ungodly abominations. The people decry them as blasphemies. The Large One's rampage has since taken it to the northern reaches of the island. I mean to dispatch our radiant host in an attempt to quell the threat.
And what of Vritra?
Vritra too makes for the north of his own accord, and yet he knows the blasphemy and its minions were but yesterday his beloved people. I pray his boundless compassion and mercy does not deter him from taking unenviable but necessary action.
Understood. I ask that you allow us to aid you in quelling this threat.
You would risk your lives to help us yet again? I have no words to express my gratitude. Our regiments approach the north from several directions, with a number of units set to depart from the docks of Yedlimat. They will make landfall in an area of dense jungle, where one can expect to encounter dangers even beyond the fell beasts we hunt. I leave you to your preparation. You will find me at the docks when you are ready to depart.
We're as prepared as we'll ever be. Let's go.
Everyone has assembled, yes. I thank you for lending us your aid in our battle against blasphemy. Let us review our plan of attack. I would have you board this boat and circle around to the north side of the island. There you will find a dense jungle we call Vanaspati. It is a sacred wood, home to many temples and a number of villages. Vritra and the Radiant Host have gone there ahead of us. I ask that you join them and do all in your power to destroy this blasphemy. Oh, dungeon time already! Damn! Dungeon number 85! I'm still missing the headpiece for this gear set. And the other ring. Alright. Everything's on fire! Looks like we got a gunbreaker, white mage, and another samurai? No, a dancer. Wait, is the dancer the freaking Hrothgar? That's cool.
I could do that. If this is the only way, I shall silence the beasts of the air. Pray continue onward.
So many trash mobs. We haven't even made it to the first mid boss yet. What? Ew, it is ugly. Uh-oh. Woo! There's mouths on the ground? I missed my timing for that. Up. I'm safe. What is left? Left? What is right? Right! No, go away! Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Ow. Ow. Right? Nope.
What is this wild presence I sense? The horde draweth near. Be on your guard.
I pressed the wrong button. Oh! Oh! No? I see a treasure chest over there. I want it, you love elf. No. Ooh, yes, I do need that. What is that? Wait. It didn't do anything for me. I'm a dead man! Not unless I do this. There we go. Ooh, yes. Whoa! What on earth is up with the sky? I pressed the wrong button again. Monkeys! Demon monkeys! What in the world? Barbanu. God, I love this music. What? Red? Red? Blue? Oh! That worked! What is it doing? You know what? I'm just gonna stand right here. Bitch! Oh no! No! Ow! Oh, the dancer's dead! No! Nope, I'm standing right here. Perfect. Ow! I'm dead! Wow, everyone left? I got the fucking weapon. The only downside to it, I think, that's the great sword. That's the Dark Knight weapon, isn't it? Ooh, hang on a minute. That don't look half bad. I like that. But I don't play Dark Knight anymore.
As I feared.
Ah, good water.
What is it?
The beast was there, and now it is no more. Yes?
Indeed. We saw it plain. But you didn't, did you?
I saw nothing. Not the blasphemy that perished here, nor the other men turned beasts. And because of this, I now see all too well. There is no ether. Where the creatures should be, I saw naught but emptiness.
Emptiness? But that would mean...
Recall the words of the Watcher. 'Twas a stagnancy of ether, a cessation of flow, leading to decay and absence, that led the ancients to conclude their star was dying. This is the same phenomenon. The instant these people are seized by the transformation, their ether begins to rot and crumble away like dried mud. Until, from their corporeal forms to their very souls, naught remains.
But the beast spoke with its dying breath. Surely at least a sliver of the man it was endured.
Mayhap so. But even if the process was incomplete, it was little more than a faint residue.
Gods be good. You're saying they cannot be saved?
Not by any means known to me. Or by any means at all, like as not. For there is naught left to save.
They return not even to the ethereal sea.
The beasts rage on, their hunger insatiable. Even deprived of their master, they perpetuate his legacy of hate. Once proud sons and daughters of Thavnir, all of them, and now I spill their blood.
Vitra, my friends,
I am heartened to see you safe.
You put your secret at risk.
Those closest to me already know the truth. A truth I must now share with one and all. Vitra, calamity has come to Radzatan. Our fair nation is rent by screams of pain and despair. More than ever, we require a strong leader to shepherd us through the storm. Reveal your true self to our people, Vitra, and guide us to salvation.
What madness is this, I-One? Thou dost forget thyself. Were we to reveal our duplicity, it would do naught but foster confusion and chaos. Nay, I shall remain the Satrap's loyal ally, and do battle with the beasts. Easing hearts and leading the people to safety is thy task, and thine alone. I ask that you remain at Ahewan's side, and render unto him what aid you may. I know not what lies ahead, but without you, Radzatan will not survive.
Take me with you. I am as at home fighting in the air as I am on land. Take me with you.
Were my words unclear? I require no assistance. Thy place is at Ahewan's side.
Estinia, here. The last thing you ever wanted. A link pearl. We'd gain much from knowing your elevated perspective. And it'll keep you from getting lonely, which I know you love.
You heard the man. Seems I'm coming with you after all.
Then I pray thy grip is iron. Be it on thy head if thou dost chance to fall.
Fair enough. Now, shall we?
I fear it is as Vitra says. We will not survive this on our own. While I am loath to impose upon you again.
I would insist if you did not. 'Tis the very reason we have come.
Then once more I find myself without words to thank you properly. Let us return to the capital and plan our next course of action.
Our Radiant host has eliminated the immediate threat to the city, though it pains me to know those beasts were once my own people. There is no telling when or where the next transformation might occur. We must remain vigilant and steel ourselves for whatever is yet to come. I'll take that money. And I need to take a bathroom break, so I will be right back. Okay, that's much better. Hewan's burden is heavy indeed, yet he need not bear it alone. Forgive me, my friends, when I return to Megaduta for the time being. There I can better manage this crisis and dispatch my troops as the situation demands. In that case, we shall carry out an investigation of our own here in the city. Mayhap the residents can tell us more about the first of the transformation, and the conditions under which it occurred. If we can ascertain what exactly triggered these tragic events, it may give us some insight as to a possible solution. Time is of the essence. Let us split into 3 groups, that we may cover more ground. Alize and I will see to Pax's path. Thancred and Yashola pray make for Dharma. I leave Artha to Graha and you, Yami. Any information you can gather on the first blasphemy of the manifestation of the final days here in the city would be most helpful. When we have completed our respective inquiries, let us reconvene in front of Megaduta, that we may share what we've learned with the satrap. Shall we be off then? Arthra is home to the High Crucible Alchemia, whose alchemists forge many of our warding scales, and seems as good a place as any to begin our investigation, don't you think? I spoke briefly with Nuhadin, the chief alchemist there, on our last visit. He should be happy to answer our queries. Can I access the Aetheryte this time? Nope. My guess, this is literally the last place that we can go to. Yeah, I think this is literally the last place, the place that we get all of our tombstone gear and whatnot, because there's just way too many people here. Ah, I remember those red eyes. You were with those scions who commissioned the scales from us, yes? I welcome back to the High Crucible. What brings you here in these troubling times? We are assisting the satrap in investigating the crisis that plagues the city. Did you happen to catch sight of any of the creatures? I did. As I was going about my work, I was disturbed by crashing footsteps so powerful that the very ground shook. I rushed outside and could not believe what I behold. The night sky was burning. Suddenly I heard panic screams coming from the direction of Basan Bazaar. In the next instant, a monstrous beast poked its head out from amidst the stalls. A handful of the Radiant rushed to the scene, only to be set sprawling as the fiend and its minions propelled themselves skyward. So the blasphemy came from the vicinity of the markets. This knowledge may prove useful. I thank you for sharing your tale. Well, I do believe we now know where we should inquire next. To the bazaar, then. Yep, see, the script exchange is here, as well as the collectible appraiser, so this is definitely the place where we go for tombstone gear. The Splendors vendor is here too, as well. But this is Stafnarian weave. I must say, it bears a resemblance to the traditional fabrics of Corvos. Small wonder, really, given that it's just across the water. Not that I am much of an expert in Corvosi culture, of course. I've not had the occasion to visit my ancestral home since coming to Charlian, and like as not, I will never reside there again. That said, in recent days, I felt more acutely aware of my heritage, and grateful for it. It is thanks to my forebears that I inherited the royal eye, and with it the wisdom of ancient Alec. And so, well, I simply hope that my countrymen are safe, and one day when this calamity is but a memory, I would like to see Corvos again, if only once. Forgive me, but my shop's closed until further notice. Needless to say, we've more pressing concerning these days. You have come not in such of wares, but information concerning the enormous fiend that tore through the bazaar. Did you perchance witness anything? Afraid not, my friend. I was here the whole time, so I only saw his little minions. Made a mess of the place, they did. While that was all going on, the great big one tore through the west side of the bazaar. You'd have better luck searching there. Oh, dear. Is something the matter, traveler? If you are lost, perhaps I could be of assistance. Your offer is most appreciated. We are not lost, but we are in need of information. Might you know anything about the gargantuan beast that rampaged through the bazaar? Aye, I saw it all, though I wish I had not. I was going about my work when all of a sudden a piercing scream cut through the air. I turned around and there was the fiend, its massive body bursting through that entryway with the force of a tidal wave. And then it was gone, as quickly as it came. Sisters, have mercy. What is happening to the world? What am I to do? Is nowhere safe? Settle down, friend. The danger is past, at least for now. If it's not too painful to remember, could you tell us what you saw? For first I heard the screams. Then a horde of ravening beasts came charging towards us. One of them was huge, bigger than a Merid, throwing people about like ragdolls, and it was eating them. I hid under the counter, saw others do the same. But the shrieking and wailing kept getting louder. More voices in the throng. Beasts or victims, I couldn't tell. I knew not what was happening. I still don't. That is enough, my good man. You were brave to share with us your tale. Many of your fellow merchants are safe. The High Crucible, too, has survived, mostly unscathed. Pray stay close to your friends and loved ones, and rest your body and mind while you are able. I suspect that that is the most we can expect the people here to tell us. I think it best we find a place outside the bazaar where we might rest and review our findings. This way. Judging by their accounts, the transformation had already occurred by the time the beast reached the bazaar. It tore through the west side of the bazaar and headed towards the Aetherite Plaza. In other words, the blasphemy may have first appeared in this vicinity. That being the case, the people in that Mayhain can surely tell us more. Going after that enormous beast, are you? Aye, I saw it, including the very instance that poor bastard transformed. Damn the gods for putting me there. It started over there, by the window. A few men, merchants probably, talking and drinking. Conversation must have taken a turn for the worse. Next thing I know, their leader, I suppose he was, buries his head in his hands, and black mist was swirling about him. Then his whole body bursts apart, and there stands a hideous slavering beast, massive and foul, all gaping maws and bulging eyes. His friends start shrieking, then the black mist comes again, until the change takes them too. The stuff of nightmares, I tell you. Nightmarish indeed. Incidentally, do you perchance know who those merchants were? No, I'm a decorator by trade. Not much cause to mingle with their sort. Saw Mihlil, the barmaid, chatting with them, though. She might know something. Even after repairing all that damage, it'll take a while for business to pick up again. You mean the blasphemy? That's what the Radiant have been calling it anyway. I saw it too. We all did. I was standing here at the counter as Merid poured me a drink, when suddenly there came this dreadful sound, like a pained, angry groan. It was unlike anything I've ever heard. I turned around in shock, and from an ominous cloud of black mist rose the creature, enormous and ghastly to behold. As for what happened next, to recall it sent shivers up my spine. By some stroke of fortune, I was able to slip outside before the beast got his claws on me. But the sight that greeted me offered no solace. The blue sky above turned red as blood. Merid, myself, and the other survivors clung to each other for dear life until the Radiant host came to our aid. Wait, did I hear you correctly? The beast manifested before the sky began to burn? I'm certain of it. The windows here offer a clear view of the sky, and I saw nothing out of the ordinary until a beast appeared and began to rage. Oh, hello there. Welcome to Merid's Mahane. What can we get you? We have come not for libations, but rather for information. You are Melil, yes? We are investigating the so-called blasphemy on the satrap's behalf. We hear it was one of your customers, a merchant that first underwent the transformation. What can you tell us about him? He was something of a regular here, especially of late. Kalzal was his name. He ran his own consortium, dealing primarily in the exports of Thavnarian specialties. Kalzal? You mean the Aura that we met before? It's through him we met Matsya. Yes, the names ring a bell. Didn't you meet them both on your first trip to Thavnar? If I recall correctly, Kalzal ran a trading operation in Yilmad, and it was there that you made Matsya's acquaintance. Yes, that is the same Kalzal, no doubt. A rather successful man, from what I gather. That said, it was clear that he had fallen on hard times of late. Those ghastly towers popping up everywhere cannot have been good for business. Even now, with the towers gone, the collapse of the Empire has led to all sorts of problems elsewhere. The market for luxuries is surely not what it once was. Trying times for the head of a trading consortium, indeed. Kalzal was a compassionate man. Even as his own business suffered, he did what he could to provide for the artisans, fishermen, and many others who counted on him to sell their wares. So that dragon thing was Kalzal! Wow! Indeed, that was the very topic of yesterday's meeting, as far as I could hear. Yet as they discussed matters further, Kalzal's tone grew grave and grim. It was then that... Forgive me, I would not have you recall the memory if it brings you pain. If I could, I would ask just one more thing. Did you notice anything unusual about Kalzal in particular? Please, anything at all. Sorry, nothing springs to mind. Perhaps someone else can help you. Kalzal lived for his work, and had no family that I know of. His employees and associates knew him best, but they too are lost to us. Still, perhaps his neighbors know something I do not. I could direct you to them if you believe it would help. What do you say? Kalzal made his home in Kama, a nearby residential area. From what I gather, Kalzal lived there since childhood and was known throughout the neighborhood. Kama, the name is new to me. How do we get there? I'll write down some directions. I cannot promise that you will find what you seek there, but if nothing else, it is a start. Come, let's see where this leads take us. Rahati is now... Okay. Let's see, after leaving the Mahane, we are to retrace our steps and head back towards the Aetheryte Plaza. From here, we ascend the stairs. Ah, this must be huge, in which case we should take the path leading southeast. Southeast, this way. If we keep going this way, we should arrive in Kama before long. Walking these unfamiliar streets is quite the adventure, is it not? I can only hope we can explore routes at Han at our leisure once the crisis has averted. And this must be Kama. We arrived at last. Let's begin questioning the... Oh god, Hodor Potter is online! Oh no! And be questioning the rest of this without delay. No doubt someone here can tell us more about Kazal. Given recent events, I imagine many are taking shelter indoors. Could you come back another time? I just woke up and I'm not exactly in the mood for idle chit-chat. Well, that's one way to avoid the panic, I suppose. Pardon our intrusion. You may not have noticed, but a great danger has come to Thavnair. I encourage you to stay alert and prepare to flee the city should the situation turn dire. But before we leave you in peace, pray allow us to ask a question or two. Did you know a local merchant named Kalzal? If so, did you notice anything unusual about him recently? Kalzal? Aye, I know him. In fact, we spoke just the other day. Like many others, his business was doing poorly. Still, it seemed as though he'd managed to turn things around, thanks to a generous order from Rubida Fibers, while he was practically dancing in the streets. I haven't spoken with him since, but I assume it all went well. Dijinabana Baha might be able to tell you more, though as I recall, he was the one who brokered the arrangement. Dijinabaha. These names, I'm not even trying. The guy at the fiber store. Let's make a point to visit him after we've spoken with other locals. Kazal, you say? Yes, I've known him since he was a boy. If there was ever a man who was born to be a merchant, it was him. Always early to depart and late to return. He'd spend his days procuring the finest wares and seeking out willing customers. You could say it came to him as easy as breathing. Sadly, business was flagging of late. No surprise, really, with how dangerous travel has become. He was cooped up in his house from dawn till dusk the other day, no doubt racking his brain for a way to turn his fortunes around. Then at night I heard the door open. I looked out to see Kalzal sitting on the bench, his head hung low, a man with the weight of the world on his shoulders. I see, the situation must have been quite dire indeed. Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary? Nothing to speak of. Other than the troubles with his consortium, he was the same old Kalzal, cordial and honest, like always. These questions you are asking, has something happened to him? He wasn't caught up in that terrible incident at the bazaar, was he? I don't travel much these days, but my daughters told me not to venture outside. Stuck in here as I am, I've heard little about these bazaar goings-on. Rest assured, the city is safer now, but the situation may change without warning. I urge you, stay close to your daughter and be prepared to take refuge should the satrap order it. If I am not mistaken, these stairs lead to Dharma. It is quite the sight, the red sky above. During the final days of yore, the heavens burned and the stars fell. Creation magics run amok. That was my assumption when I saw Amarat. Perhaps the ancients believed the same, that the terror of a single powerful individual was the cause of their calamity. And yet, those selfsame horrors now manifest themselves before our eyes. What could it be that sets the sevens aflames and turns ordinary men into beasts? They're farming silkworms. This must be the fiber store where we should find the guy. I'm not trying to say their name. I just can't. Wait a minute. Ah, there's stairs here. And hurry, I say. There's no time to waste. Pardon me, but you are in charge of buying and selling here, yes? We have a few questions that we'd like to... I'm sorry, but I simply don't have time to chat. If you haven't noticed, we have our hands full at the moment. We must carry all our wares and equipment to safety before those accursed beasts return. In that case, might we be of assistance? Perhaps we could speak when the job is done. Side quest time? Very well. You can start by helping us move our equipment. Ask the others what to put where. And you could carry our fabrics. Go through that door and speak with Kamala. She'll tell you the rest. Remember, these textiles are our livelihood. Handle them with care. This area is for employees out. Only. Out, out. What's that? You've come to help. Oh, praise be to Meduvra. Kind stranger, I welcome your assistance. On your way here, you passed 3 storehouses, yes? I'd like you to carry that small crate to Naberfall by the storehouse near the hatchery. The crate of clothing is for Manua, and that massive crate there goes to Zemira by the middle storehouse. Watch your back with that one. Those are all the crates we have ready. Once they've been delivered, consider your work here complete. You have a limited time to complete the task. Should you fail, return to the starting location and begin anew. Thread, is it? Then you've come to the right place. We thank you for your aid. If you have any crates of finished products, such as carpets, clothing, and the like, pray bring them here to our primary storehouse. A crate full of clothing, is it? I could take that off your hands. Many thanks for the delivery. Oh, Jesus had put on a heavy debuff! No! I say, you're quite the brawny one, aren't you? A good thing, that. Never know when you'll need to defend yourself at these unpredictable times. A crate full of fabrics, is it? Exactly what I was hoping to receive. Here, let me put that away for you. You've carried all the crates to the storehouses, you say, and so quickly, too. Why, I've never seen anyone so strong. I and my associates will see to the rest, so please return to the guy and assure him our work is proceeding apace. To tell the truth, we're grateful for this distraction. Too many terrible happenings of late. But generous souls like yourself give me hope that we may emerge from this trial even stronger. I pray we meet again in more peaceful times. Done as I asked, have you? If Kamala is satisfied with your work, then so am I. You have done us a great favor, traveler. I too have delivered the instruments and apparatus entrusted to me. You both have my thanks. With our wares safely stored away, we will not lose any more to those fiends. I take it that your establishment did not escape the attack unscathed. We did not. Thankfully, most of our workers had already left for the day, but those of us still here saw it all. We looked to the burning skies in confusion, and then before we could even begin to make sense of it, a hideous creature burst through the door, shrieking. We ran for our lives, but one of my colleagues were not so fortunate. He cried out, a scream of such agony, such terror, and in the next instant, he too sprouted fearsome claws. The sight of it caused another fellow to panic, and then he too transformed. I'm sorry, there was something you wanted to ask? Indeed, you knew the merchant Calzal, did you not? I believe he had some dealings with your establishment. Calzal, I know him well. We'd arranged for his consortium to deliver a large shipment of fabrics, but in the end we received a better offer and had to turn him down. I understand his business is struggling, but so is ours. Another of our most reliable trading partners agreed to transport the goods for a much smaller commission, and we'd have been fools to refuse. I felt terrible for withdrawing the offer, but you must understand, we simply had no choice. He tried to put on a brave face when I delivered the news, but his dejection and despair were plain as day. He said he'd discuss it with his associates, but I could tell he'd all but given up hope. Dejection and despair. You remember what we saw in Fanaspati, yes? Soldiers and jungle dwellers pushed to the very brink, turning into beasts one after the next. It was seen the same phenomenon occurred here. The poor craftsmen attacked by the fiends, as well as those that witnessed it, all undergoing the change. I suspect that everything began with Calzal. By all accounts, it was he who suffered from the most profound and piercing despair. Wait, could that be it? That such intense emotions were what triggered his transformation? Much remains unclear, but I believe we are drawing closer to an answer. At any rate, we must discuss our findings with the others. Let me grab that sightseeing point. Let's see here. Hop on this, and walk slowly, and drop. Ooh, there's a photo on this, so there's gonna be some voice cutscenes. We were to reconvene with the others in front of Magaduda, were we not? That should be just outside. With any luck, they have already returned from their own investigations. My friend, we must take our leave. I pray that your establishment is spared further tragedy. But remember, your lives are far more precious than any wares. If you are ordered to flee, do so without hesitation. Indeed. I thank you for your concern, and pray you to take care as well.
There you are. You've spoken with the survivors.
Indeed. We thought to share what we have gleaned, that we might together gain a greater understanding of present circumstances.
Fortuitous timing. Alize and I completed our own investigations not long ago.
Then we should take a moment to compare notes. Shall we begin with the two of you?
So the merchant Karzal was gravely concerned about his business in the days preceding his untimely end.
The tales we heard were much the same. The first victims to be changed into blasphemies were all overcome with anguish of one manner or another. Then those who saw their loved ones stolen before their eyes succumbed to a similar panic, setting in motion a chain of transformations.
Fear, unease, despair. These negative feelings serve as a catalyst.
If so, then it is not unlike the calamity that befell the ancients. With their creation magics, they unwittingly gave form to untold horrors. Had they simply lost control, surely it would have manifested in many forms, not all of them monstrous. Yet somehow, this phenomenon is triggered solely by the darkness in their hearts, a common thread with what we now witness.
Common, but not identical. While the beasts the ancients faced were forged with magic alone, those of today are born of sentient beings. Why remains to be seen, but there is one fundamental difference between us and our predecessors. Our souls are sundered, whereas theirs were not. Perhaps that single variable makes all the difference.
If I may, there was another detail that troubled me. We have it on good authority that Karzal's transformation took place before the skies began to burn.
What? If that's true, then the situation's more dire than we realized. It means even if there's no ominous sign presaging the final days, anyone, anywhere, has the potential to become a beast. Even in lands we thought safe, even as we speak.
Look! It's the satrap! The satrap!
Thank the heavens!
My countrymen, I am relieved and heartened to see you strong and safe. While the danger has not yet passed, far from it, allow me to assure you that the beasts that raged within the city walls have been exterminated to the last. Outside this sanctuary, the brave men and women of the Radiant Host and our dragon ally continue to battle our unholy foes. I pray these tidings put your minds at ease and help you calm your hearts. Have faith that we shall soon conquer this terrible trial.
Your Excellency, is there any word from Balaka's stand? My grandson was bound for there yesterday, and I worry for his life.
We are still awaiting a report, but I promise you, as soon as I have aught to share...
Your Excellency, I bring grave news.
You are?
I'm Matsya of Akyali, a humble fisherman. Ah, I remember you from our first visit. Wait, you're... But no, that can wait. When the skies turned red, I set off for Palaka's stand, fearing for the safety of a friend. But as I drew near the village, I saw dreadful beasts all about.
No! Gods have mercy! Your Excellency! Save my grandson, I beg of you!
We will spare no effort to save all we can, but you must remain calm.
Calm? You tell me to be calm? You saw those beasts? They tore our bravest warriors limb from limb! What if we are too late, huh? They catch him, sink their fangs into him? The fangs! The screams!
Get away from her, now!
Kill them before it spreads.
We'll handle this. See the townspeople to safety.
Run! As fast as you can! No!
Vitra, our people, you must save them.
My son!
Enough! You must run. For their sake and your own. Yes. You will survive. You must.
Be strong, my friends! Fear not, for we will defeat these abominations! Brave men and women of the Radiant Host, lend your Stola and Thancred your aid. Let not a single beast escape. The rest of you, flee this place. Carry the wounded if you must. Head indoors or underground. Above all, stay calm. No beast will follow you. We will see to that.
Alphino! Alizé! Leave the city to us, and make for Palaka's stand at once! Matsya, show my friends to the village! I promise you, they're more capable than the host's finest!
Right! Go with them, will you? We will save these people. As many as we can.
How do you defeat something that spreads through despair? Oh, we're outside! We must save Palakastan, whatever that takes. Matsya, it pains me to put you into harm's way, but I would ask your aid as well. Of course, Palakastan is not far, just down that hill. But as I told His Excellency before, the path was blocked by terrible creatures. I had no choice but to turn back. In that case, this is what we shall do. Yami, I ask that you take the lead and dispatch any beasts you encounter. Alizé and I will keep Matsya hidden amidst the trees, and follow when the path is clear. There is no telling what dangers await us. Keep your eyes peeled. Ah! Marbles. It cannot be. We must heal those we can, and quickly. I see no beasts, but stay on your guard. The villager has no pulse, nor do they appear to be breathing. The cooling body has already begun to stiffen. The massive wound suggests the villager was gored by a terrible beast. Though the villager's injuries do not appear to be life-threatening, he does not respond to your efforts. His breathing goes more ragged and shallow, and his vacant eyes are those of a man who has lost the will to live. Even if I wake, the nightmare goes on. No, leave me to sleep. You call out, but the man does not respond. Have you come to help us? Too late, my family, my friends. Are these the only villagers who survived? I can only hope others managed to flee, but if the rest have been turned to beasts, by the 12! Let us do what we can to see that the damage spreads no further, and no matter what comes, we must keep our spirits high, lest we ourselves suffer a similar fate. I can tend to the rest. Pray look after Matsuya. No doubt what we have seen here weighs even heavier on his heart than ours. Oh, Yami! This is Hierodet, the elder here. He is hurt, but praise be to the sisters, he still lives. Young Matsuya here has told me everything. I have not the words to express my gratitude for your aid. When the heavens began to burn, we were afraid, but did our best to carry on as we always have done. Until today, when those unholy beasts came pouring into our village, a flood of midnight and death. There are no words to describe what followed. Men and women I have known since they were babies struck down by the creatures, only to rise again to join the murderous horde in the guise of those same hideous fiends. In the chaos, a handful of our villagers fled for their lives. I can only hope they have found their way to safety. Matsuya, do you perchance remember Carousel and Mevin, the young couple who always brought you your freshest catches? How could I forget, Elder? When I first came to peddle my wares, desperate to eke out a living, they showed me such kindness. Others shunned me as an outsider, as is their way. But Karasef and Mevin brought my fish and sung its praises. They turned my fortunes around. Alas, I fear they are in terrible danger. I saw them running towards Agama Temple, one of those beasts in close pursuit. They had their child, still but a tiny babe, to elude these fiends while caring for one so young. Caring for one so young is an impossible task, surely. I beg of you, go to their aid. I want to help them, yet I am but a fisherman. I cannot face beasts on my own. Will you come with me? Oh, thank you. Agama Temple lies to the west of here. We must hurry. southeast. This way. Oh, I see it. Northwest. Northwest. Oh, here it is, on this rock. Alright, that leaves a total of 3 left to find. Northwest. I mean, southwest, damn. It's still counting the old one. Directly west from here, so it must be inside the temple. Is it up there? Ah! It's on the other side! Mark that. It's on the other side. The temple is just ahead. It is built by those who worship Saint Agama, but has sadly fallen into disrepair in recent years. If my friends made it this far, no doubt they are hiding somewhere amidst the ruins. No, please, stay back! That was Kasserith. Oh no, that is not good. Please, dude. The cry came from the ruins. You must hurry. The man lies motionless on the ground, bearing a grievous wound. I'm sorry, Yami. I tried to stay behind, but I couldn't. No, it cannot be. Someone, anyone. My arm's so heavy and my legs. I cannot feel my legs. My wife fled with our daughter. I need to find them. I need to be with them. I need... Karasov! No, Karasov! You must stay strong! More time. I thought I had... I don't want to die. Thank you. Please find them. Mevan still lives, and she has their child. You must search the jungle between here and Palakistan. There's nowhere else she could have gone, I think. Forgive me, Karasov. Once we have saved your wife and child, we return and lay you to rest. You see no tracks or other signs of recent travel. Mevan and the child must be your swearer. Man, no one asked for you to bother me. If Mevan and her daughter came through this area recently, you see no evidence of their passage. Cherry bomb! Did you see any sign of them? I found nothing. Perhaps the beasts have chased them further from the village. Oh gods above, I beseech you, pray deliver Mevan and her little one to safety. Meanwhile, in the skies above Thavna.
No more enemies to trouble us here. It's me. How fare you below? Understood. I will inform Vritra. Chaos and panic sweep Raz-Khan, and many more have succumbed to the transformations. Amidst the fray, Ahawan fell, protecting a grief-stricken father. My friends fight alongside your Radiant host to secure the capital. Beasts have been sighted in Palakistan as well. We have divided our forces in hopes of quelling the threat there. Of small solace is that we now know what triggers the transformation. As my companions tell it,
so it is the very fear and despair in their hearts which inflict this abhorrent punishment upon them. A nightmare from which my children will never awake. O capricious and cruel fate, they are undeserving of such condemnation.
will you wallow in sorrow or rise to the occasion? Raz-Khan is leaderless. Before he passed, Ahawan sought to reveal the truth to his people. Honor his wishes.
To what end? To breed a new conflict between dragon and man. These claws could reduce thee to shreds with a touch. These jaws crush thy bones to dust. Only through my proxy could I walk with my children. Without him, I am a bringer of fear. No different from the beasts which beleaguer them.
Perhaps so. Only in death were Hraesvelgr and Shiva united. Indeed, whenever man and dragon have come together, death has ever been the inevitable result. It was our fear of your kind that sparked a nigh-endless war. Fear and hate of which Nidhogg drank deep as he laid waste to my homeland. And in turn, I took my revenge on his brood. Blood for blood, pain for pain. I thought nothing of theirs, only of mine. And yet, were the chasm between us too vast and too deep, Hraesvelgr would not have borne Isael to battle and our rescue. He would never have entrusted a mortal champion with one of his eyes, and the Dragonsong War would still rage on. And I would still wage a never-ending war of violence and vengeance. The future of our star be damned. I cannot speak for Ahawan's greater goals, yet I know that he served you, served your people, long and true. In this time of unprecedented crisis, he turned to you. You could do worse than to place your trust in him. It will not be easy, but the future of Raz-Khan hangs in the balance. We have company. The hour has come, Vritra! It's all or nothing!
If Mevin fled deeper into the jungle, she and her child are in grave danger. Whatever are we to do? Gods have mercy! You must try to stay calm, Matsuya. But how can I at a time like this? They could be dead! So if I allow myself to be overcome by this fear, I too might become a beast? I'm not sure I understand, but I will do my best. I've seen to the wounded. How did the two of you fare? Did you find your friends? See, in that case, let us help you find the mother and child. Before we leave, we must ensure the village will be safe in our absence. Alize and I will patrol the area and search for more beasts. Would you and Masya speak with Elder Yerovet? Pray explain to him the situation. Join us soon as you are able. We will save Mevin and our child. We could do that much for Karasev. And now, I'm going to backtrack a bit and go and get that blasted ether current. .504 yalms to the south, directly south. Is it on this side? Can't be. Southeast. It's like I thought, it's over here. Elephant! Please do not call me that! more quest? Oh, there it is. And the last one, 337 yalms to the southeast. It's a Tigger! It's a Toiga! I see it. Alright, that's the last ether current. Everything else is tied to side quests. I'm heartened to see you both safe, but what of the family? We found Karasef, but he... Say no more. I understand. We have lost another of our dear friends. Karasef may be gone, but there is still hope for Mevan and the child. Please find them, I beg of you. And if, in your search, you come across anyone else who escaped the slaughter, pray tell them what has happened. I will do my best to keep the villagers safe and their spirits high. Come, let us rejoin your friends at once. Oh, shoot. I won't need this. At least I don't think I do. Yeah, I won't need that. But I do need the headpiece. What on earth am I looking at? God, that's awful. The gear looks fine, the headpiece looks atrocious. I'm pleased to report that the vicinity appears to be beast-free, no doubt thanks to your earlier efforts. And with that, let us resume our search for your friend and our child. Where should we begin, Matsuya? If we follow Kisiroda south, we will arrive at Perusa, a temple. It is a sacred place where people go to commune with the divinities. It is possible that Mevan sought shelter there, and perhaps other villagers as well. Then it's cellular. Matsuya, stay close to me, alright? You two take the lead. Keep an eye out for beasts and anyone in need of help. Very well, we make for Perusa as quickly as we are able. With me! What an ugly monster! Thank you, I thought I was done for. Mevan? She's a friend of mine too, but I have not seen her. She must still be out there somewhere, trying to avoid the beasts. And with her child, gods! Worry not for me, I can make my way back to the village on my own. Yami, wait! Perusa lies just up ahead, but something terrible has happened. The beasts have come, and many have already been killed. Afino and Alize have gone to do what they can, but there are so many, more than I could count. You must be ready. There you are. How fare the others? I see you've seen to all the beasts in sight. In that case, let's have everyone gather in front of the temple. Oh, stretch the back. Oh, that hurt.
Courage, friend. The pain will pass.
Has anyone seen Mevan?
Where could she be?
We've dealt with all the blasphemies, and made certain no villagers are still in hiding.
Good work. We've otherwise tended to the wounded as best we can.
What will become of us?
Help is on the way, surely. We may have to abandon our homes now, but we will return, someday.
But where can we go? Is anywhere even safe?
That I cannot say.
Well, I can. Nowhere's safe. Run all you like, but there's no escaping these things. And even if I could, it's too late for my family.
This isn't good. The more they dwell on the tragedy, the more likely we are to lose them too.
My friends, this is a place of worship. Should your heart quake with sadness, cast your mind to the heavens and remember. Remember the teachings of the old gods. Did they not implore us to stand fast when waves of sorrow break against our shores?
Know this, my children. There is more ugliness than beauty in this world. To live is to suffer. To drink of calamity and drown in anguish. To toil and be tested, always and ever.
'Tis a perilous path you walk. Death lurks in the dark, and is the sole promise that awaits at journey's end. You will tremble with terror. You will weep tears of anger and despair.
But do not avert your eyes. See your life for what it is. Then you see how the hardships make you strong.
Every doubt reforged as scales for your armor. Every agony to temper your blade.
Thank you, lad. We'd almost forgotten who we are. My undying gratitude to you as well, my friends. You were searching for Mevon, no? We must return home. I pray you help the boy find his friend.
Gladly. We dispatched what beasts we could, but the roads are still dangerous. Stay together and go in safety.
That was very impressive, what you did back there. Those words seem to resonate with your people.
They should. They were the first spoken unto our ancestors by the divinity of legend. I'm easily upset, and fish are wont to flee a temperamental hand. So I recite the teachings over and over to calm myself.
They're lovely and inspiring to hear, though I imagine they were born of great misfortune.
They are born of life. There's as much bad as good in it. More, many would attest. All the more reason to appreciate the good when you can.
I won't argue with that.
In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow.
And with that, let us see if we can't find Mervyn. Did you see? That beast was chasing someone.
There's a voice cutscene in this one too. Over there, my view was blocked by the trees, but I'm sure I saw someone being chased by a beast. Yami, go with Matsuya and search along the river. Alfino and I will circle around from the south.
That's her! No, I'm sure of it! Mervyn!
Don't, please!
Damn. We're in the water.
God have mercy!
Where's the baby? Evan's lifeless body floats before you, battered and broken. Her death no doubt came swiftly. Her infant daughter, however, is nowhere to be seen. Oh, crud. Where's the baby? You take the babe into your arms. If she yet lives, you cannot tell, but she will surely not survive unless you carry her to the surface at once. How do I get out of here? I don't see any stairs. Oh, there! On the other side, Jesus. No, you stupid monkey, I don't have time for you. You can throw a rock at me all you want. Oh, fine. Did you find Mevin and the child? Damn it all, you have the child? Let me see her.
She's so cold, Alphino.
The child is alert, and I see no wounds, and yet... she grows weaker. My spells can do no more. What she needs is a change of clothes and a warm bed. We must hurry back. Not now!
Matsuya, take the child.
It appears we've made enough noise to be heard for miles around. More will be upon us ere long. We make our stand here. Matsuya, can you take her back to the village?
But the child, all by myself.
Grow a spine, man!
Serious? The beasts will follow you home unless we stop them here. And so we shall. Be strong, Matsuya. Her life is in your hands.
Right. I can do it.
I know you can. We'll keep them busy, Matsuya. Go! Quickly!
Steady. You know the way. No. No! Not you too. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
To live is to suffer, to drink of calamity. It is a perilous path. Death lurks in the dark.
No! I'm not afraid! I'm not afraid! Do not avert your eyes. See your life for what it is. See how the hardships make you strong. Every doubt reforged. Every agony.
Oh, Histinian, just in time!
The divinity?
Nay, but one who would deliver thee just the same.
Please. You must save the child. She is all that remains of Mevan and Grasef. Please.
Well, well. Seems the babe's taken a liking to you.
Thou art strong, little one. Let us convey thee to thy home.
I spied our friends as we flew in. They appeared to be holding their own against the Horde.
Right. That's the last of them. We should hurry and find Matsuya.
I have a feeling he'll be fine.
Really? How can you be so sure?
A fine battle it must have been. Shame I missed it.
Estinian, it was you who came to Matsuya's aid.
I was only along for the ride. Vritra was the one who saw the boy was in need. The two are headed back to the village.
Where the worm will honor Ahiwan's wishes and finally reveal himself to his people.
Perhaps so. Will you go and join them?
There's something I need to do first. Mervyn gave her life so that her child might live. She deserves better than to be left to drift alone. She deserves to be laid to rest beside her husband, at least. Will you help me?
We have done what we can. 'Tis for the villagers of Palakistan to perform the funeral rites. If nothing else, Meva and Karasef died as they lived, as themselves and not as beasts. Their souls will find peace in the ethereal sea. To think the day would come when even that smallest of solaces would be discomforting. Well, there's the first aetherite current. You are ready then? In that case, let's head to Palakistan. No doubt Vritra is waiting for us. Rest easy, for all is well here. Young Matsuya returned with the babe safe in his arms. Owing to a warm bed, the girl had already begun to regain her strength. Less joyously received was word of the mother and father's fate, as well as that of their transformed neighbors. How many children of Thavnair must we lose to this calamity? Mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, every death another void that can never be filled. We who survive them must carry the weight of their memory, as we strive to regain a semblance of what we have lost. Karasef and Mevin's babe is a child of Thavnair as well. I thank you for returning her to us safe. Oh, most great and merciful worm, I have not the words to express my gratitude. They say that were it not for you, brave Matsuya and the child would have been lost to us forever. Long had I heard the rumors that a mighty dragon had forged a pact of friendship with the satrap, but never would I have expected such a kind and gentle soul. Truth in part, but not in whole. I am Vricha, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode, an isle I have ruled over as satrap, with Ahawan as my loyal servant. Are my ears to be believed? You were the true satrap all along? Nidhana, what are you doing here? I heard from the Radiant that you had gone to help the people of Palakastan in their time of need, and so I and several of my colleagues from the Great Work came to offer our services. The alchemists have already brewed up some potions for Mevin's daughter. But enough about us. You and your role are the far greater enigma. If you were the true satrap all along, could it be that young Farshan was created to serve as your emissary? Thou didst suspect the boy was but a simulacrum. A rumor has circulated for many years around the High Crucible that our most skilled alchemists were once commissioned by the satrap's family in secret to fashion a mammoth indistinguishable from a living boy. Looking at Farshan with that knowledge, I simply put two and two together. I was not alone in drawing this conclusion, but like me, they no doubt recognized that the satrap is using the simulacrum to work more closely with his people, and decided not to press the issue. I had always assumed one of Ahewan's associates was manipulating it from afar, though the truth is indeed far more surprising. It is an honor to meet you in the flesh, Master Vitra. Please allow me to express my gratitude. If you had not believed in and given unto us your scales, I do not know where we would be. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. 'Twas thou and thy fellow alchemists that fashioned the means to unmake the towers. You were the saviors not only of Radzadhan, but the star. Far too kind you are, Master Vricha, but the star yet wants for salvation. Once more will my colleagues and I commit the knowledge and resources at our disposal to the mission of aiding the people in this their darkest hour. 'Twould seem this place is in good hands. I will return to see how Radzadhan fares. What will you do, Scions? I worry for the survivors we met at Perusa. Shall we pay them a visit before making our way back? In that case, might I ask a favor? Nothing too burdensome, I promise. This way. Needs to simmer just a bit longer, I'd say. In the meantime, I was hoping I might ask you a few questions. The Red Sky, these terrible beasts. What in the name of the sisters is happening here in Thavnair? Oh my, that's rather a lot to take in. It would seem the situation is even more grave than we suspected. Thank you, friend. My colleagues and I will use your knowledge to see if it can further our own research. And with that, here we are. A pot of piping hot chai, brewed from my own secret recipe of spices and tea leaves, together with hearty helpings of rich milk and purest sugar. I've made enough for everyone in the village. Might I trouble you to deliver a few cups? The drink has medicinal properties, then. Not in the least. The ingredients are quite ordinary. It's so very tasty, though, and has a way of lifting the spirits. The spicy aroma and distinctive sweetness of chai is a simple, everyday pleasure on our island. Sometimes the best medicine is the simplest. A lovely sentiment, Nidhana. By all means, allow us to assist. While you lot distribute hot beverages, I'll do a sweep for errant beasts to slay. A far less arduous task, no doubt. When you finish, look for me at the Wakafuel Torana. Look at them all lazing about, knowing full well the beasts might strike again at any moment. Do they not realize their lives are in danger? Well, I for one intend to survive. I'm too young to die. Yes, I'll leave this island behind if I must. But where would I go? Is anywhere safe these days? A cup of chai? Can't you see I have more important things to worry about? No, you're right. It is precisely in times like these that we must strive to remain calm and steady. I do believe I'll visit the Elder and see what needs to be done. If there is any way I can aid my village and my friends, I will do it. Wait, I know you. You were the one who saved us from those beasts back at the temple. Were it not for you, well, let's not even think about that. At times like this, we mustn't dwell on what might have been, but look to the future. But what future awaits us? How can Radz-at-Han hope to recover from this? Most of my friends are gone, and I don't know where to turn. A cup of chai. Well, if you insist. Ah, that aroma has a way of clearing the mind. Come to think of it, we've faced our fair share of trials in the past as well. And no matter how hard the times, we've always come together as a people united. One day at a time, one step at a time, for that is all any of us can do. Yes, back to work. Once I finish this cup, thank you. I'm missing somebody. Nope, not in here. Wasn't in that building. Wasn't around the building. In here, perhaps? Nope. Maybe in here? Nope. Must be on the borders of the town. Ah, there they are. I'm sorry, I just want to be left alone. My best friend and I, we fled this village together. One of the beasts took him, and it was all I could do to run. All the while I could hear this monster's voice screaming my name. This is for me? We used to drink chai together often, share stories over steaming cups after a hard day's work. Thank you, friend. The pain may never pass, but I must press on all the same, for his memory, and for we who must remember. Side quests! Oh, and there's only so many here. Monkey! It appears this creature wants you to follow it. What harm could come from doing so? Oh, you're the one who saved Mevin's child. Might you help a father in need? My daughter is nowhere to be found, and I fear she's gone off into the woods by her lonesome. Others from the village have joined in the search, but our numbers are few. We've yet to even reach Perusa. If you could add your eyes to the search, I would be ever so grateful. My daughter was wearing a red coat when last I saw her. I will make my way to Perusa, so please bring her there if you find her. May the gods grant you insight. Jesus, hiccup. I know we are beset by monsters, beasts, and worse, but if you have even an ounce of strength to give, I would ask for your aid. I am in need of a brave soul to help patrol the area in search of any lost refugees. I would ask my brothers and sisters of the Radiant Host, but our numbers have been greatly diminished. It is all we can do to keep the darkness from swallowing this settlement whole. Very good. It shall be heartening to have another warrior by my side. Let us commence at once. Egads, my knees. My years are catching up to me. You there, traveler. Might you have some time to spare for an old maid? As I fled from the chaos that erupted, I took a terrible spill and dropped a charm that is very important to me. And can you believe it? One of those flea-infested Hanuman langurs scooped it up off the ground and scurried off into the woods. Would that I still had my youth. I skewered that fiend at the end of my spear. Alas, my vigor isn't what it once was, and I'm still aching from that fall besides. You'll have your charm back, don't worry. Really? You do that for me? The animal ran off toward the font of Maya, fell it quickly and returned my charm to me. Please, how else am I to defend myself from fate's cruel machinations? Ah, what luck. You look capable of braving the jungles unscathed. Would you help me search for a group of refugees I became separated from? As the chaos unfolded around us, I fled in the direction of Agama Temple along with a few others. There, one of those terrible beasts fell upon us, and I lost track of my group in the chaos. While I was able to make my way here, none of the others have, and I worry for their safety. I would like nothing more than to search myself, but all hands are required to defend this place. Agama Temple is to the west. Please journey there and guide anyone you can find back here. I only hope that some manage to survive the madness. I've heard about all the good you've done for our village, and we're all thankful for it. I hate to impose upon your generosity further, but if you have a moment to spare, could you lend me your stout arm? I would ask you to search for my father. I haven't seen him for bells, and after asking around, it seems he may have left the village and ventured north. The divinities only know why he went alone, but if I were to follow him, I'd likely end up at the bottom of some beast's belly within a malm. Please find him and return him safely to our home. Unfortunately, that is all the time I have for today's episode. So we'll complete all these side quests as well as the main scenario quest in tomorrow's live stream. So, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the live stream, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out Mother Roy's New page or click link in the description below to help her achieve her dream being Magaka. But let me for 2, you won't be disappointed. And of course, don't forget to click that little bell button if you wish to be notified whenever I upload a video or live stream to my channel. And most importantly, if you wish to see the last page tonight, you do so by checking out my playlist section. All my videos are there archived for your viewing and entertainment, so you can watch the beginning of Final Fantasy XIV, Final Fantasy VII Remake, God of War, and many, many more. Thank you all for watching. As our host, Demarius Shadow, sing along Z, and I'll see you for the next adventure. Goodbye, everyone! And goodbye to you, Fox! That was perfect timing.